Welcome to a special edition of Real Thoughts and Conversations. I am your host, Dr. Cedric Brown, and I have with me Miss Jasmine Pollock. I host From the 80s View on Sunday evenings at 6:40 Central and 7:40 Eastern. And my host, Jasmine Pollock. Jasmine, tell them about your show.
Yeah, sure. So, hello everyone. My name is Jasmine Pollock. Yes, I have a Packers hat on. I know this is a Lions event, but I'm just wearing my team right now. But I host First Impression Sports Talk every week. You can call me a YouTuber as well. I have a lot of different guests on, along with Cole and Anthony, and I'm really excited for this show just to get to talk to Lions fans because I'm cool. I'm not one of those weird Packers fans, so I'm really excited about this day.
And Jasmine, it's really unique that this all came together. I mean, you know how our big brother is Leon. You
Yeah,
know, when he gets a thought in his head, he just runs with it. So
right.
um, on, I was speaking to a guest this week for my show, and I noticed that she was a person that was born in Detroit, Michigan. And so
Right.
in our conversations, I kind of flipped the script and I said, hey, you from Detroit. How about them Detroit Lions?
Yeah.
And the guest, she went all in. She went from 0 to 100. She flashed some Detroit Lions apparel and everything. And she talked about her mom and her husband and everybody. And so what did Leon do? Leon put together a special edition of Real Thoughts and
Mhm.
Conversations, And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what what fans feel
Yeah,
in Detroit, right? Because it's been
absolutely.
30 years, Jasmine. It's been 30
Big years.
years since, Detroit has experienced what they're experiencing now. And, when you talk about cultures and
Yeah,
the culture, right? Music and how hip hop and all those things, well, it
yeah,
started right in Detroit, Michigan,
it did.
with the music and the culture and the religion. I believe one of our guests is a member of Second Baptist Church, right?
Mhm.
So there is a rich, strong tradition in Detroit, Michigan. So, what are your thoughts going into this conversation? And what are your thoughts about Detroit playing tomorrow?
I besides me being a Packers fan, I am just really happy for the city of Detroit because we've seen for a long time how the Lions were. Like I grew up a huge Calvin Johnson fan. Have much respect for Calvin Johnson and what he's meant to that organization. Even Matthew Stafford, and it was great to see them put him out. After the whole trade, getting Goff. Oh, we're moving off of Goff. The Rams were like, whatever, we don't need Goff, and Goff got his get back in that game. So that was a big deal for them. But for this city, it's huge because, again, like you said, it's been 30 years. They're the third seed in the NFC. They have another home game. This is a big moment for them. That stadium is going to be rocking tomorrow. So for Bucks fans, I'm really sorry, but it's going to be very tough. And I just know the Lions, this is it. This is the moment they've been waiting for. And Dan Campbell has really put this team together. And they built a team to be able to compete in a championship for sure.
And you're talking about Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell was on that team that was 0-16.
Yes, he was.
Right? And now he is a part of and built a culture that is blue collar. I mean, what
Yes,
how else can you say about Detroit? Detroit is blue collar, right? Roll their sleeves up, bring the lunch pail, put the hard hat on, and let's go to work, right? And
right.
the last time I was in Detroit, I believe it was 2009, was the Final Four, and
Mhm.
being in Ford Field, I was a part of history in that they had the most fans attending a Final Four game in history. And so that is my Detroit story. That's my
Yes.
Detroit story.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. I don't have any Detroit stories outside of Packers games, but I'm just really excited to talk to the fans because I just want to get their take because there's been so many years where you have a team that everybody's been laughed at, picking at them, and different things like that. Now this is the moment that they're here. They have arrived, and it's not just this year. The Lions are going to be around for
For a long time. Absolutely.
so it's not like this is their, oh, one season they're done. No, this Lions team is going to be around. Like definitely, it's going to be us and them battling it out next season. So I'm really excited for just their organization, what Dan Campbell's bringing, and then just from what they were to what they are now, it just shows growth and it shows that they really put faith in their players. The fan base put faith in the team, and I'm really excited to talk to the fans to get their take on it.
Right. And they're not going to be a one-hit wonder like Vanilla Ice. You
No,
know what I'm saying?
no,
They're going to be around. So let's bring in our fans. Let's bring in our Detroit fans, right? That's why we're here. We're here to bring them in. Miss Dion McCullum and Dominic McCullum and then you got Mr. Marcus Rio, aka Rio. Miss Deborah is Miss Dion's mother. You have Greg, aka Yak, who both Marcus and Greg are entrepreneurs in Detroit. And you if you're watching this podcast, you need to get in contact with these young men because they're doing remarkable things in Detroit, Michigan. And then you have the McCullum family. Mr. Dominic is a Michigan fan, and Miss Dion is a Michigan State fan. But they're both they're both Detroit Lions fans. So welcome, Miss Dion. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me back today. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you, Miss Dion?
It means the world. As I talked about earlier, I was 10, when the Lions last went to the playoffs. So now to be 40, to be able to experience with my husband, my brothers that are on the screen, my mother, missing another brother, but my family is a Detroit family, rooted in Detroit, and it's again to see the crime rate go down. I wish my dad was here. This is history. This is our history, and we've been waiting a long time, and we're excited about it. So my passion will always shine through for my city.
Right, Mr. Dom. What about you, brother?
Man, it's been a long time coming. So it's kind of overwhelming. First, Detroit Lions been the fifth oldest team to be here, fifth oldest team in the NFL. I'm sorry. So we haven't seen the success in a long time. Since 1952 was what I think our first actual championship. So we have a lot of history that's need to write new history for the most part. But we are ecstatic, man. It's like I said, it's overwhelming. We don't even know what to do. We don't know how to express the feeling because it's never happened, But a lot of people that aren't here, like Dion said, her father, our father, my father as well, a couple of members. They seen it. They wanted to see this time, and it's actually here, man. And I mean, it might be great to see them go further, but at this moment, we just gonna take it all in and take it one game at a time.
Miss Deborah, you've raised a Detroit Lions fan. You've raised a strong woman in collegiate athletics. What does it mean to you, Miss Deborah? What does it mean to you?
Well, again, just like everybody else, it's just such an exciting time for the city of Detroit. Like I said, I'm a Detroit fan for all sports, and I used to attend Lions games on a regular basis for 2 or 3 years. But now just watch it on TV. My kids know, my grandkids know. Sunday, I'm in front of the television watching Lions, and if they want to eat, they on their own.
Right. Go wash your hands, go in the kitchen and fix you something.
Right. But this is an awesome time. Even our church, as you mentioned, Second Baptist, we've even gotten involved this season where we just sell little hot dogs and hot sausage and hot cocoa outside the church on game day, just to do something, just to make the church involved some type of way. But yeah, this is an exciting time, and I'm loving it. Well,
23-24, God is a Detroit Lions fan, huh?
Yes,
right. Mr. Rio, what about you, sir? What does it mean to you?
Man, it means everything to me. And like, my sister Dion said, and Dominic, just with the family, pops, and it's just so many people that schooled us when we were younger. Like, I remember my uncles telling me, like, okay, are you sure you want to sign up to be this Lions fan thing? Because it's been a rocky road.
Right.
So it definitely runs deep. But I work with the Lions, so I'm able to see that how much they do for the community. And it's one thing about Lions fans is that we have always been loyal. Our games have always sold out, whether we were 0-16 or whether we're doing good right now. So, and that is a testament of the organization, and they really, really, really pour into the community. And, once you're loyal enough, you definitely reap the rewards. And we're definitely reaping the rewards of this. So the city is super excited. We're well deserving of it. And we're excited about tomorrow and see where it takes us.
Sure. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Yak, Greg, aka Yak.
Yes,
How about you,
sir.
sir?
First of all, go Lions. Okay? Second of all, I want to thank Dan Campbell and the organization because it was a lot of pain over them years, man. Like she said, I was 10 years old the last time we even seen something like this. I recently turned 40. To see the unity of all the fans, the emotion of when we won our first playoff game against our former quarterback, people were shedding tears. Like, I was at the Motor City Casinos sports book lounge when I watched the game, and to see the whole city just unite in a positive fashion. It was no arguing, it was no fighting, it was just a love all over. And it's been like that ever since we've been winning. Monday mornings feel that much better.
Yes,
after
sir.
the Lions win.
Right.
It's a heck of a road, man. It's been a heck of a ride, man. Let's keep on going.
Right. Well, and I hope viewers that you heard what Yak said. He said he was in the casino, so he felt good coming out because he hit that lick. He hit that lick with them Detroit, with that Detroit win. So he was feeling real good. Jasmine, talk to us a little bit about the matchup tomorrow.
Oh man, so I'm gonna say I live in the Tampa Bay area. My dad's a Bucs fan, and I got a lot of friends from college that are huge Bucs fans, so they're already talking. And I'm like, I'm reasonable, so I'm like, you guys need to be careful because this Lions team is on a high, and I've never been high on the Bucs ever in my life. So both organizations, they're both having their own stories to tell. If you look at it, so of course the Lions, 30 plus years. Having this moment, like you all said, it's been a long time since you've seen this. And for the Bucs, they're going out. This is after post Tom Brady. So Baker Mayfield trying to rewrite his story. So many people trying to rewrite the stories. But to me, I have the Lions win this game because it's just everything is on the line. Everything is on the lines this year. I might get flamed. My dad might not talk to me for a week, but it's okay. But I'm going to win this game. And I think that they are overestimating the I think a lot of people are saying, the Lions are this, the Lions are that, and the Bucs been there. I don't care. They're in that stadium, in that building with all the fans and you fans rooting that hard. Y'all are going to win the game. I promise you that. By 10. I'm calling by 10.
Ooh.
By 10.
By 10.
I love the support, but I cannot say I'm going to root for the Packers ever.
I know.
I can't ever do it. I'm sorry.
Hey, we do have the comedian on the podcast.
Yes,
Mr. Yak is the comedian. Mr. Dominic, you are a former collegiate athlete. You played at Eastern Michigan. What is your thought, Mr. Dominic, about what Detroit is doing from a football standpoint? You were a former football player. You know what goes into it. You know what the film sessions are like. You know what the script on the defensive side and the offensive side are like. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, I'm glad they started from the ground up, from the interior, starting from the line. That's one thing the Lions have always lacked back in the day. They started from the ground, from the line, offensive line, defensive line, and they built from there. So it was exciting to see that come first. Then they worked on getting another quarterback. Then they worked on the running backs and et cetera. So to see it come together in the drafts year after year, we always haven't had success with drafts. So to see that come together was awesome. To see Dan Campbell have a hard-nosed, let's go to work attitude, man, it was perfect for the city, perfect for the team, and it's infectious, I would say. Like everybody wants to do that. The city, we're not in the city anymore, but we can feel that energy. People want to go to work. Let's get it done. let's go one step at a time, one game at a time, and it shows.
Sure. And I see that we had a viewer give a shout out. Miss Jennifer, thank you for being a part of it. And if there's anybody else watching the podcast tonight, please, give us a chat. We'll talk to you. We'll answer you. Mr. Rio, I want to talk to you because prior to the show, we were talking about your business and what you do and how you work collaboratively with the Detroit Lions. Can you share with the viewers a little bit about what you do, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the edification. So I am the owner of Varsity Gold Sports and the president of VG Esports nonprofit based in Detroit, Michigan. And what we do is our sports management company organizes charter school sports throughout the Metro Detroit area. So we are pretty much, we'll say, the equivalent of the NCAA for charter school sports. So they participate in our athletic programs. So with that, we're able to partner with the major organizations, the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, to provide youth opportunities to these schools as fundraising, but also experiences as well. So for like the Pistons, we'll do on-court performances or cheerleading. I booked a cheerleading performance for the Thanksgiving with Adam Grammer. So there's a lot of different ways that we're able to unilaterally collaborate together to impact the community, give experiences, and also be able to fundraise for these schools.
That's awesome. And I would be remiss if I didn't give Mr. Greg, aka Yak, the same opportunity, because you are an entrepreneur there in Detroit, Michigan. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about your organization, sir?
Yes, Quality Minutes LLC. What we do is acknowledge hard work individuals around the community who give back. We also have a podcast, so we give those people a platform to tell their side of the story so that other people can network and find different ways to make it through this hard time of life that we're going through. You know what I'm saying? So we do our podcast. Like we had Miss McCullum on there before, giving us our beautiful story, as everybody should know. Definitely follow her, definitely. But yeah, man, we're just up and coming business, man. Just trying to make something work in the city, man. Hard work.
Good. And I'm gonna get to you, Mama Deborah, when we come back. I believe that we have to go to a short break right now. I am your host with Miss Jasmine Pollock, Dr. Cedric Brown, and you are watching right now Real Conversations, Real Thoughts and Conversations. We will be right back after this break.
Renting is everything. It's style at your doorstep, off the runway and into your closet. It's every trend you've been dying to try and every designer you've yet to discover. It's wearing it your way every time and making it count everywhere you go. It's never worrying about what to wear, because something new is always coming your way. That's why renting is everything. New styles, top designers, all for a flat monthly fee. Start your subscription at renttherunway.com.
Slow roasted over hickory fire and pulled by hand. This is the way pit pork has always been done. Pulled pork lovers, rejoice. The smoky old days are back at the Smoke Shack. From the creative team that brought you the Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcasts, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
Welcome back to Real Thoughts and Conversations. I'm your co-host, Dr. Cedric Brown, along with Miss Jasmine Pollock. Before the break, we were talking about the wonderful things that are going on in Detroit. But Miss Deborah, I want to hear from you. You know, we heard your journey through this whole thing and how you've been a fan and things like that. As you grew up, Miss Deborah, right? The football times in Detroit might have been a little tough. What makes fans so um, what makes them such great fans in Detroit, Miss Deborah?
I guess that's basically how we're raised. Like I said, my father watched all of Detroit sports, and I watched them with him. And like I said, as I stated earlier, how my very first football game was with him in Cleveland, watching the Lions play, and that's where I learned the game. And it's just the love for football and in all of the sports is just, I hate to say it. Some people might take us the wrong way, but I was the son he never had. So I was the one that would watch the sports with him and participate, and it just grew from there. And of course, I instilled it in my children, and now my grandchildren, and anybody else that's close to me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, and everybody knows that they can learn a sport, the sport from me, and it's just something about Detroit. It's anything Detroit. The saying Detroit versus everybody, that is so true because and I think that's one of the things that we all have that love for the Lions is because we've always been beaten down, and whenever it's come close, should be winning again a game such as Dallas. We're cheating some type of way, They came up with a T-shirt last week that said Detroit versus refs, so it's just a thing.
Yes, ma'am. And I appreciate that perspective that you have. And Ms. Dion, I want to talk to you and Jasmine specifically because you are women that understand, like your mother, the sport of football, right? What does it mean? What does it mean to you, Ms. Dion, to understand that sport, and how have you seen the transition in more women understanding how football is played and what that means to you? And I'll give that to you and then to Jasmine.
I think it's the foundation. If I had the foundation of my mother and my aunts, my little cousin is now working in sports in Tampa. Unfortunately, she better have a Lions ear tomorrow. And then I have, another cousin who lives in LA, and she's going to go find a bar with Lions fans to be with a collective group. So I think it's just the foundation I had growing up with older brothers, older brother friends, and being the youngest and the only girl in the group, that's who I learned from. That's where my foundation came from. And, wanting to do what they did and be around them. And they were the cool group, going into high school, a freshman, and Rio being a senior, and knowing that's my big brother, it was, I'm going to be around them and figure out what they're doing and know what they know, so I can be a part of their conversations. So
Right.
I think it's just the foundation I had, and I fell in love with it. My mother loved it, so I loved it. And then once I got into sports, how can you not love sports and what it brings and the feelings it brings to you, So I'm just being a woman in sports. It may be rare, but if you go to a Detroit game, it is women everywhere, outside. Like, one thing about Detroit women, we are tough, we are strong, and we support our teams. So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
it.
Absolutely. Jasmine, what about you? And for all of you that are watching this podcast, Jasmine Pollock is, when I met her about a year and a half ago, I said that she is a rising star, and she is a young lady that has that female black magic. She is absolutely wonderful. So, Jazzy, what about you? Women in sports, women understanding football. You are a sports talk host. What are your thoughts? What are you seeing?
I think when it comes to women in sports, it's much needed, and we do kind of run things behind the scenes. If you're starting to look at it the past couple of years, my foundation started with my father. He played, football in high school, Clearwater High School. I'm from Clearwater. Then I played softball in high school, and I, was one of the best softball players in the area. Then I go to college and I play flag football for Warner University, where I graduated from. So sports has always been in my blood. Definitely not the teams, because my dad's a Bucks fan. I'm a Packers fan, but it's just when it comes to women in sports, we get looked down upon because we think, like I've been told, stay in the kitchen, don't speak about sports, things like that. But that never phases me because I know sports more than a lot of men do. And I love having these conversations with a multitude of people, and even whatever fan base you come from, I'm a sports fan in general, because I think sports is what keeps people together, keeps everyone in tune with each other, and brings people together rather than separate us, I get told a lot, and I thank you, Dr. Cedric and Jay and Leon and everyone on here, for the support and love. But I just think that when we have more people in sports, especially Black women, it's a big thing, because that just shows that we don't have to be just the athlete. We can do a multitude of things behind the scenes, on camera, on the field, a lot of things like that. So I think, being a woman in sports is a big thing, and it's on the rise right now when we talk about women's sports.
That is absolutely, very well said, obviously. And, meeting, the platform that we have, Jazzy, you and I, right, through LTG, Leon Thomas Group, has brought us into another family, right? This Lions family that, Dion McCullum had, produced because of the meeting with us. And one thing before we close, I would like to ask each one of you, and Mother Deborah, I'm gonna start with you because you are the matriarch. And I say it in my show all the time, and you'll hear it tomorrow evening when you watch my show at 6:40 Central, 7:40 Eastern, and Miss Dion McCullum will be the guest on there. Miss Deborah, what does faith mean to you?
Mm. She probably froze.
She froze on us. Well, I will come back. I will come back to Miss Deborah. Rio, what does faith mean to you, sir?
Faith is unwavering belief in whatever you believe in. And no matter what you go through, no matter your trials and tribulations, you never waver, you never give up, you stay honed in and focused on that end goal. Everything else is just part of the journey. And then once you understand that, the journey is really the reward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mr. Greg Yak, what does faith mean to you, brother?
Faith means, like he says, man, never give up. Like our motto is for Quality Minutes is make every minute count. Because you never know, you can never give up, maintaining a solid foundation and just keep pushing through all adversity is always going to make you come out in the bright side at the end. So never give up, keep focusing on faith, because it's always there and God always has you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to the McCullum family, I'll start with you, King. I'll start with you, Dominic. What does faith mean to you?
Man, you know what? I went a totally blank, right? And then I looked at what Dion has on her arm. She has it, faith over fear is tatted on her arm. So faith is just walk with no fear, man. Just walk with no fear. That's all I can say right now.
Sure.
Miss Dion, how about you?
Faith but mustard seed at all times. Matthew 17:20. I learned it from Muhammad and Habaji, growing up in Second Baptist. And ultimately, it's just never giving up, putting your best foot forward, trying. You're going to fall, you're going to stumble, but always getting up and never letting the devil get the best of you. So as long as you always have that faith, that small faith of a mustard seed, you can overcome anything. And that's just how we move, and I'm blessed to have the family I have and the foundation I have to understand what faith means and to have an idea of what faith means to me.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. And Jazzy, last but not least, how about you? What does faith mean to you?
Faith is the relationships you build with people throughout your journey. Faith is us on this call right now, because, in no way, shape, or form did we expect, this moment to happen if things connections weren't made, relationships weren't made. So it's important that, you know, God places people in your life for a reason. And it's not just for that moment, it's for years to come. I believe in that. And I'm a very big person on relationships and building relationships with a multitude of people, because you never know where it could take an individual or a group of people. So this right here is faith. This is what defines faith for me.
Absolutely. And so here's the big thing, right? I just need a pick and a score. Mr. Rio, I just need a pick and a score. Go ahead and give it to me.
Are you talking about for tomorrow or for the Super Bowl?
For tomorrow. What we talking about? That's what we talking about. Right, for tomorrow. You're right. I just need a pick and a score. Go ahead.
Next week of the Super Bowl. Okay, tomorrow. I'm gonna give it 31-14.
Okay, Rio 31-14, Detroit. Mr. Yak.
I'm gonna go Detroit 28, Tampa 17.
Okay. Dominic.
Yeah, I would say 27-10 Lions all day.
Okay, and Miss D, Miss Dion.
I'm going 20-6. Run it back.
20-6. 20-6. And before I get your pick, Miss Deborah, I was going to start with you with this last question because you are the matriarch of the family. Miss Deborah, what does faith mean to you?
Oof.
Right.
Faith just means just believing and understanding that whatever your desires are, as long as you have faith in God, anything and everything is possible. And
yes, ma'am.
And that is my favorite term, is faith.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Yeah. And now, Miss Deborah, you got I know the team. Give me the score tomorrow.
Oh, I'm gonna say Detroit 28, Tampa Bay. I'll give him a touchdown, 7.
Ooh, she gonna be stingy with it. She gonna be stingy with it. You know, Dion didn't even give him the extra point. She gave him 6.
Yeah,
she real stingy with it.
That's 2 field goals, no touchdown.
Absolutely. Well, this is what I'm. Oh, and let me ask. Did I ask you yet, Jazzy? Jazzy, what's your prediction tomorrow?
By 10.
I have Lions 30, Bucks 20. Baker's gonna throw 2 picks tomorrow.
Ooh, a pick 6?
Come
pick
it.
6?
We like you, Jazz.
Pick 6 and a pick, like a late pick. That's how they're gonna win the game.
A late pick and a pick 6. Okay. Well, I've been authorized to tell you all that once you win this game, that we will come back at some point next week and we will talk about the NFC Championship that the Detroit Lions will be playing in. My pick is Detroit tomorrow, and I believe that it will be a 35-7 victory for the Detroit Lions. Right, because I think that Detroit is going to show out. They're going to show up and they're going to show out tomorrow. And I believe that wholeheartedly. And I want to thank each and every one of my new family members, right? I have the family that I was born in, and I have the family that I was allowed to choose. And because of Dion McCullum and God bringing the two of us together, I've been allowed, and Jazzy's been allowed to be a part of this family. Before I let you go, real quick, Rio, give everybody an email or something that if they want to get in contact with you, that they can.
Yeah, so you can reach out to me on either Facebook at Rio Johnson or Instagram at Rio the Brand _, or you can just call me 313-701-8572. I'm entrepreneur forever, so I'm ready to network for whoever.
Mr. Yak, Greg.
Yes, sir.
How about you? How can they get in contact with you?
You can find me at Quality Minutes LLC on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or you can call me too. 586-224-0138, man. Make every minute count.
That's how
okay. And Ms. Dion, how can they get in contact with you?
I am on LinkedIn as Dion McCullum. I am on Twitter as Dion McCullum, the Impact AD. I'm not giving my cell phone out. I have
You should not.
300 student athletes that already call me as is.
Exactly.
So nobody else needs my number. But again, I'm on Instagram at DST handles 08. Shout out to the Reds. And yeah, that's me.
Okay, Mr. Dominic, you want to give a way that somebody can reach you and talk about Mizzou? About Michigan football.
Mizzou.
About Michigan football.
Go Blue. Yeah.
First of all, it's the University of Michigan.
Oh,
I don't have any platforms for anyone to reach out to me. If you know me, you know me. If you don't, well, you probably should.
Absolutely. Miss Deborah, is there any way that you would like someone to reach out to you?
Not really. They can reach me through Dion.
Okay. All right. And then Jazzy, how about you?
Yeah, so you can reach me on LinkedIn at just Jasmine Pollock, Instagram _impressions jazz. You can see subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is First Impressions. You can definitely contact me through email, which is firstimpressions@gmail.com. And I will give out my number, 727-710-7937. I'm currently looking for guests. Anyone who wants to come on, whatever background you're from, come on. We want to talk all things sports.
Absolutely. And you can reach me on my YouTube channel at Dr. Cedric M. Brown, or you can reach me via my website, which is cedricmbrown.org. And again, always looking for new and exciting guests to have thoughtful and honest and open conversations on From the AD's View. And I guess Mr. L.A. Parker asked a question earlier about pickleball, right? Or did he ask about racquetball? Racquetball, pickleball, and that's an inside joke that me and Jazzy have. Our producer, Mr. Leon Thomas, is a devout racquetball player, and he has Racquetball Revival in the Baltimore area, which is an absolutely magnificent opportunity for young people in Baltimore to learn the sport of racquetball. And I tease him about that, whether it's racquetball or pickleball. And yes, I did say Mizzou unexpectedly because I came from St. Louis when I came out here, but I did mean Michigan because I didn't want to disrespect Mr. Dominic with the maize and blue, because one of my former guests was a former assistant coach for Jim Harbaugh. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see him. His name is Mr. JT Rogan. If you check out that episode, you'll see that I'm always talking about the maize and blue. Go Blue.
Go Blue, baby.
Dion and Mom don't like that.
That's all right. All my grandkids
coming out their ears.
Blessed oil. I got the blessed oil, Miss D. I got the blessed oil. You know what I'm saying? When I come to Second Baptist, the church ain't gonna go on fire, Miss D. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna come on fire when I go. We got the blessed oil. But hey, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your time. And Miss D, I will get in contact with you after y'all win tomorrow, and we'll set it up and we'll bring everybody back for the NFC Championship.
Absolutely.
This has been wonderful.
Yes, ma'am. We thank you so much. And if Mr. Greg and Mr. Mario, Mr. Rio, Mr. Marcus said, please check those young men out. They're doing wonderful things there in Detroit, Michigan with the youth. And when you have a mentor like them and you have a mentor that looks like us, that is helping young people that look like us, it's important to go support them. Right. Yeah. So you've been watching Real Thoughts and Conversations with co-hosts, myself, Dr. Cedric Brown, and Jasmine Pollock. We love you. Go Detroit. Let's get this thing done tomorrow. Go Lions. Go Lions. We'll talk to you later. Good night.
All right. Good night.